YouTube, my name is Mesa and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Alright folks, we have a ton of Destiny 2 news to go over as usual. We're going to talk a little bit about Shadowkeep at the beginning of the video, and then we're going to round up a ton of things from Cosmo and Dylan from Bungie, and one of them will be what's going on with faction rallies. They want some feedback from us regarding faction rallies. But let's get into it, and guys, apologies for not doing an Ask Mesa episode this weekend. I was packing all weekend, and it was like 110 degrees here in New York. I'll be in my new place next Saturday, and yeah, I'm excited for it. So I should have another Ask Mesa up next week after the move. Alright folks, let's get into this news video. If you enjoy this video, a like rating is very much appreciated, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Let's do this folks. Last week I put up a video discussing Armor 2.0. There was an awesome interview with Luke Smith and Mark Noseworthy where they go over it or give us some tidbits on how it might actually work. But I also discussed in that video the possibility, and we started theorizing in the comments section, about the darkness being on the moon, and perhaps Eris Morn actually woke up the darkness. In the original Vidoc, they did say that the darkness is closer than we think, and we all believe that the darkness is the bad guys that are in the pyramid ships. Now, when we see all these bodies floating in the air, all over the moon, we thought that maybe this could be the darkness, or related to the darkness. Then also, if we look on screen right now, we see right on the left-hand side of this developer screen, we see a public event, or some sort of event, and it says, Sacrifice to the Darkness. To me, guys, that's confirmation that the darkness is indeed on the moon, and somehow involved with either Shadowkeep or Year 3 of Destiny 2. What do you guys think in the comments section? Let's get another debate going. I know a bunch of the leakers, I don't know if it was Anon the 9 or not, but a bunch of the leakers were saying that we were going to get some sort of preview of the darkness or the pyramid ships, which I believe the darkness or these whatever beings are on these pyramid ships would show themselves within Year 3 of Destiny 2, and that would lead us into Destiny 3. Am I reaching here again? I don't know. All I know is that 1, I love conspiracy theories, and 2, I want to know what's on those pyramid ships. Ever since we saw them at the end cutscene of the Destiny 2 campaign, I want to know what's on them. Something I noticed too when going through the footage, and you probably saw it too, is there's like some red goo on the walls, or red paint, or red something on the floors and walls within the moon. Now, is this representing the new faction of Hive that are on the moon? Because I feel like the Hive look a little different. They have kind of red spiny things coming off them, and I know some folks are saying, well, some of the Hive over on the moon from Destiny 1 had that too, but I got a feeling we're facing a new faction of Hive, and maybe they are led by the darkness, I don't know, but I definitely noticed in some of the scenes, you see this red splatter either on the floor, on the side walls, and kind of reminded me of when the Taken first came to town, that, yeah, Bungie would throw that Taken goo wherever the Taken were. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Moving along with some more Destiny 2 news, courtesy of DestinyRoundup.com, which I will link in the description, someone put up over on Reddit, petition to have Shadowkeep purchasable with Barium Bow. And Cosmo actually wrote back, deal. First person to get 100,000 Barium Bows on your account gets a collector's edition of Shadowkeep. To prove you have completed this feat, reply to this comment with your account name and I will check it out. What prompted that was, well, folks over on Reddit and the Destiny the Game subreddit hit 1 million Guardians, so congratulations over there. Well, a number of folks are posting that, well, we have all this Barium Bow, but no uses for it. So they said they're going to look into maybe finding some other uses for it. Someone also on Reddit did catch in the Developer Insight video that one of the Bungie developers was accessing Lord Shaxx's inventory while he was in orbit. So everyone took that and ran with it. Hey, new feature, we could see our vendors while we're in orbit. However, Cosmo did shut that down and said, nope, debug shenanigans. It allows us to check Shaxx, Xur, etc. when we are testing things out. So no, we're still going to have to go see our vendors. Cosmo did respond to someone over on Reddit who was asking, please let the Solstice of Heroes armor be compatible with mods 2.0 or at least be unlockable as ornaments. Cosmo responded, we'll give the full details on the Solstice of Heroes and the armor you'll be earning next week. Now, by the time you're watching this video, that means this week. So probably with the This Week at Bungie, we'll learn about Solstice of Heroes, which will be here on the 30th. It will involve a grind. I will link the video and annotate on screen right now what you will have to do to upgrade all the armor, and it is a grind. Also, there will be a new playable playable space called the European Aerial Zone, where we will have to do combat meditations, but that's a big concern. It kind of was like last year. The Solstice armor was probably the best looking armor set, and it was completely useless once Forsaken came out. Will we be in the same situation as last year, and once Armor and Mods 2.0 comes out with Shadowkeep, will that armor be useless? I don't know, we'll have to see. Hopefully they'll just let us transmog it into new armor that we get with Shadowkeep. If you did not know, there is an invisibility glitch, and folks are abusing it, of course, where? In the Crucible. Well, someone made a post over on the forums that's titled, "The saga of unplayable Crucible continues with all weapons and players being invisible." Now, first off, Cosmo responded to another thread over on Reddit saying that they are targeting a fix for this on the 30th of July. Dylan from Bungie did respond to the post over on the forums, and he simply put, "The team is currently working on a fix. Should be in very soon. Various workarounds. 1. Go to your pursuits tab, check if any bounties were completed, and turn them in. 2. Go to your shader inventory, kill a shader if you don't need it. 3. Refrain from making comments about people having jobs, inferring they should be fired. This is game development. Bugs will happen. This will be fixed. Doesn't matter where the bug originates. Crucible, UI, network engineering, etc. We are the Destiny team as a whole, and we will do what we can as fast as we can to address the issue." Now, there was a Reddit thread that got a ton of upvotes titled, "How to Fix the Reckoning. Get rid of the timer on the bridge and guarantee a weapon drop every run." Dylan responded, "Thanks for the continued feedback. While I don't know if we can tune the timers, I can check to see if we have time to further address drop chances for weapons." Now, my friends and I, we tapped out of the Reckoning once the Menagerie had hit, and even going in there with matchmaking during its heyday was pretty brutal. You had people coming in and out and leaving once they got their weapon or their drops, and I don't know, that place right now I think is a ghost town, but let me know what you think. I've only gotten one good weapon out of the Reckoning, and that was a decent roll on the Nightwatch Scout Rifle, which is kind of like my legendary Mida multi-tool with Rampage. Bungie addresses Scout Rifles, or Scout Rifles needing a buff, and it's not just a simple, "Hey, we're looking at it." No. Someone made a post over on the forums, "Buff the Oxygen SR3 and Scouts as a whole." Not a rant, it's in the title. The worst pinnacle weapon could use a buff. And he put, "Yes, Scouts need a buff all around. I was just zeroing in on an underperforming pinnacle weapon." And he's right. I miss my beloved Mananan. I miss my Nameless Midnight. I would use them in PvE and even in the Crucible. The Mananan in year 1, I would waste people with that thing in the Crucible. And I have terrible aim, but that thing worked really good for me for a variety of activities. But I remember they nerfed him by 30%. Then I think they buffed him back up by 15%, but they're still below 15%. Dylan responded with, "While I don't have specifics that I can share at this time, I do know that the team is working on the problem space of Scout Rifles and how they don't have a perfect place in the sandbox. Pulse Rifles have enough range to edge into the space that Scout Rifles are meant for, and we get feedback frequently on their viability in both PvE and PvP spaces." And I think you nailed it, Dylan. Yes, Pulse Rifles are awesome right now, but what I hope Bungie does not do is nerf Pulse Rifles to bring Scout Rifles back up. But I think Bungie is kind of done with that. They want to bring everything up and not nerf things into the ground. So what I hope they do is keep Pulse Rifles the same. Now, I'm no developer or can number crunch things here, but if they could maybe just go back and look at the numbers of what Pulse Rifles used to do in year 1, just bring them up to what they used to do in year 1, and I think we're good. What do you think they should do? Lastly, let's talk about faction rallies, because Bungie, or Dylan in particular from Bungie, is soliciting feedback on faction rallies or factions in general. So guys, sound off in the comment section on what you want Bungie to do. Now, this is what Dylan had to say from a thread over on the forum. So Dylan posted this: "We have been getting feedback on the absence of faction/faction rallies since they went on hiatus last year. While I can't make any promises on or when they'd return, I'd like to ask some questions here to help prioritize the feedback points that we've been collecting. So here's the first question. What are the aspects of factions or faction rallies that you liked the most? 2. What were the features that you did not enjoy? 3. Have there been any other activities in Destiny or Destiny 2 that you thought factions impacted in a good way? And for example, Lost Sector Grind, some people enjoyed it while others really did not. Thank you, Dylan." Now, the faction rallies for myself, and please sound off in the comment section, guys. Let's give them some feedback. For myself, personally, I like the Destiny 1 way, and it's funny because I was streaming Destiny 1 this weekend for you guys, and we were going through the moon and reliving some old memories, and we went over to the tower, and we were checking out Future War Cult and Dead Orbit and New Monarchy, and it brought back some amazing memories. I think they should bring the factions back, give them a set loot pool, and have you pledge allegiance to a faction either per week or per month. Maybe give you a weekly quest or weekly activities, maybe some daily bounties or weekly bounties that you can do and get randomly rolled rewards from those factions. So in other words, make it just like Destiny 1. If it wasn't broke, don't fix it, okay? So you could do a combination of maybe keep it the way it was from Destiny 1, where as you're doing activities for the Vanguard or for the Crucible, you're leveling up your faction and you're getting rewards. I don't mean giving them tokens. I feel like that was kind of boring. You're collecting all of these tokens and you're hoping you get something. I would rather have something every week rotate on Tuesday at reset. Same thing with the Vanguard and the Crucible. It's no fun not seeing a slew of weapons and armor pieces to pick from and see each week. Oh my god, the Crucible Quartermaster has XYZ or has a perfectly rolled piece of armor. I want to go grab that. Which means I need to go grind some Crucible this week if I want to get that piece of armor. So I think they could do a combination of make it like Destiny 1, but then also make a rally once a month or something. So it's kind of like a live event that's similar to faction rallies, but I say bring back the factions the way they were in Destiny 1, but if you want to make a rally out of it, like once a month or in between Iron Banners where there's some sort of special reward and exotic catalyst, yeah, throw that in there because it'll make it a little bit more interesting besides just pledging once a week depending on what weapons they have. I know for myself, I was a big Future War Cult fan from Destiny 1. I always felt like they had the best weapons. I had my beloved Wounded, the Warpath, some of their fusion rifles were great, and so forth. Alright guys, let me know what you guys think they should do to factions in Destiny 2 for the future. That's it guys, leave me a hashtag made it to the end if you did make it to the end, and do me a favor, drop a like in this video only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at Mesa Sean, check out my stream, usually and always on YouTube, and that's it. I am out of here like Vladimir.